Hello and welcome to GuyLogicGaming. My name is Temko and this is yet another video about microtransactions in full-priced single-player games. Oh joy, this time by the everlasting arse of the ever-loving dregs of some marketing and salespeople over at Warner Bros. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Middle-earth Shadow of War will have microtransactions. Now, before I continue in my, to my eyes, very justified tirade, let's first look at what exactly we can expect from Shadow of War in this specific area and why exactly I find it so utterly fucked. For those who are unfamiliar with the series, Shadow of War is the sequel to the highly praised Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, a open-world action RPG game with Arkham-style combat. This game's most touted feature is the Nemesis system, a way for random orcs on the battlefield to level up, kill you, remember you, and hold feuds with you and others. These orcs could be powerful, have a diverse range of personalities, and coupled with you being able to control orcs by some mind-bending Middle-earth magic, set the stage for a very cool mode where you are basically feuding and fighting orcs using orcs you have under mind control. A very excellent system that deserves the praise, and thus the praise the game got every step of the way. With Shadow of War, that system is being expanded, where you can build entire armies and all the accompanying aspects related to that, from base building, customization, crafting, and leveling up and pitting them against entire fortresses. Sounds fantastic, right? Well, this is where the shit comes boiling out of Warner Bros.' sales department's arse. The magic of loot boxes is back, which you can buy with real world, real value, real dollars in a AAA full price $60 single player game. Now, loot boxes inherently might not be the worst thing in the world. I simply don't have the information on the game or its systems to make that judgment call particular. Yet, the implementation of loot boxes in any title for real world money causes several concerns, but to implement them in a single player game takes this to a level of dickishness only really rifled by the magic of EA and Dead Space 3. So there are three arguments to that are often made, and indeed are being made, that this isn't a bad thing by default. And in some games those arguments might make some sense. In this case though, it's a load of bullshit. The loot boxes can contain, because remember, this is obviously randomized to fuck you over further, the following things. New orcs for your army, XP boosts for said orcs, XP boosts for yourself, weapons and armor upgrades, and other cosmetic items. Firstly, this level of double and inevitable triple dipping is a farce and a shitty anti-consumer business practice. It's not like the game won't have a double dozen sets of subpar DLC packs, much like its predecessor, and I'm sure that this system isn't going to replace that in any way. The idea and argument that you don't have to use them doesn't really fly, as I shall now explain. Because these aren't just cosmetics, which I would still find a farce due to the fact that this is both a AAA title and a single player experience. I find them a farce in Overwatch, and I can barely tolerate them in free-to-play titles that actually have a damn case for needing to make money out of them to survive. But the fact that items and upgrades to both protagonists and your armies are in these loot boxes means that we can no longer trust the gameplay progression balance. Much like with Dead Space 3, the introduction of this means that every step of the way you have to wonder, is this piece of content here padded or made harder or made more annoying to entice me to buy a box so I can skip ahead? Is this area needlessly padded to make me want to get a little bit of XP boost going? Is this crafting ingredient made rarer so I'm more likely to buy a loot box? And most erroneous of them all, did they make items and followers harder to find in the game so I'll go ahead and get a box and hope for some luck? Obviously, I can buy them with in-game currency, but hey, you have to wonder, did they mess with that as well, like every shitty mobile title ever does and did? The fact is, we can't know this for sure, short of a developer coming out and actually saying it. These types of marketing and sales tactics have been perfected in the mobile sphere over the last decade of trying to squeeze players dry, and these are goddamn free-to-play titles. This is a AAA $60 single-player game, not a free-to-play title on your cell phone. Secondly, this also highlights an issue I have with this system for single-player games. If these systems are so annoying, these looting, gathering, crafting, and upgrading mechanics, that you might feel the damn desire to spend more money not to have to do them, then why the fuck are they in the game in the first place? The only answer I can find is to, and you get a star if you follow along so far, is to try and squeeze some of that juicy microtransaction money out of you in a goddamn $60 game. that is single player. Monolith's idea here is that these are here for the players that want to skip the sandboxy bits. You know, those parts that actually made Shadow of Mordor fun to play? Honestly, does Monolith think that people are utterly devoid in the ability to think? Has it taken an inordinate amount of hours in terms of development, marketing, sales, and probably server cost to design and build this feature that will probably cost them in the millions of dollars, and they want players to swallow that all they really want is to help out a few people skip content they don't like, and not that they prefer every single player just bend on over ass backwards to pad their paychecks? Of course they would. Just like Ep.3 and For Honor only ever wanted to help players skip on ahead and not squeeze them dry. Shadow of War might end up being a fantastic game. It might surpass the original in every conceivable way, from mechanics to armies. I don't know, and neither do you. But what we know for now is that the game will have free-to-play, progression breaking, if not progression broken on purpose, pay to win in a single-player AAA title like that, microtransactions. And that is not okay. Don't condone this behavior, folks. We have made our stance on shitty businesses abundantly clear in the past. As a gaming community and as a PC gaming community in particular, Deus Ex and their shitty pre-order bullshit is but one example I can name where we've pushed ahead and pushed back to developers and publishers that these things are not okay. So write up and call it out, as this kind of ass-backwards exploitative behavior is not okay from developers and publishers. Warner Bros. Right now merely sets itself on the same pedestal as Ubisoft and Electronic Arts, which is not that high a pedestal to begin with. And honestly, all I really wanted from Shadow of War was an anthropomorphized, sexy spider goddess sex scene. God damn it, Warner Bros. Thank you for watching. If you like this unconventional video, do click that like button, and if you want more content like this, just press that subscribe button down below. And if you want to support GuyLogicGaming as we continue to bring you honest and to the point ad-free content, do check out our Patreon page in the description below. So I wish you a good day, and until next time, right here on GuyLogicGaming.